Good morning everyone, welcome back to your maths class once again, and as you know that we are doing our chapter area and perimeter of plane figures. We already have done our first exercise, that is 17th A. We also have seen that how to start with exercise 17th B, which includes to calculate the area of perimeter and area and perimeter of quadrilateral. So here we have this quadrilateral, means we could have a square, rhombus, trapezium, a rectangle, kite, whatsoever. So we have seen. So now we are going to see our exercise 17th B, and we are going to calculate area and perimeter of quadrilaterals. Okay, here I have taken a question from exercise 17th B, and this question is question number 4. Okay, here a figure is given and they are asking you to calculate the perimeter and the area of this given quadrilateral. As you see, A, B, C and D, it is a quadrilateral. Okay, to calculate the area, now you can see that we can divide this quadrilateral in two triangles. Let's say that this is the first triangle and this is the second triangle. We can divide it into two triangles. Now if you see the second triangle, that is BCD. BCD triangle is in fact the right angle triangle. So you can write triangle. What is the idea of doing it? That we calculate the area of this triangle, that is triangle number 2. We will calculate the area of triangle number 1, and when we add the area of two triangles, we will get the area of the whole quadrilateral. So triangle BCD we are taking is a right triangle because one angle is already given 90 degree, and you know the triangle which is in which the angle is 90 degree. Which angle is 90 degree? The side in front of it will be hypotenuse. So of course this side will be hypotenuse, and this one, which is one side, is 15 centimeter. So let's take this one as perpendicular. So this remaining will be our base. Here we don't know this base, so we have to calculate this base. That means the side BC we don't know. So to calculate the base, we will apply Pythagoras theorem. As we know, the triangle is right angle triangle. Pythagoras theorem says that hypotenuse square will be equal to perpendicular square plus base square. Hypotenuse is 17, so it will be 17 square equals perpendicular. Now you see this is our base, so this is our perpendicular. Perpendicular is 15 centimeter given. 15 square, and base we have to calculate, so we'll write it like that. 17 square is 289 equals 15 square is 225 plus base square. Now to calculate base square, we take 225 to the other side. It will be 289, and this will come here in minus. That would be 225 equals base square. When you subtract this, this will give you 64 equals base square. Now b equals square root of 64, and that would be 8. That means this side is coming 8 centimeter. Now since we know this side, this BC 8 centimeter, that means now we can calculate the area. Why are we calculating this BC? Because we wanted to calculate area of this triangle, which is a right angle triangle. So right angle triangle, it is simple to calculate the area by applying the formula half base into height. So we are given with height, which is 15 centimeter, but we were not given with the base. That's why we are using this Pythagoras theorem to calculate the base. Now since we have calculated the base, we can calculate the area as well. So now let us apply the formula to calculate the area. To calculate, let me write that area of triangle BDC. This is area of triangle BDC equals half base into height. Here half, what is your base? This one is your base for this triangle, which is 8, and the height is 15. Okay. Now 2, 4, 8. So it is 15 into 4, which will give you 60 centimeter square. So we have calculated the area of triangle BDC, which is coming 60 centimeter square. So the area of triangle 2 or BDC we have calculated. Now we will calculate the area of triangle ABD. Okay. Now to calculate the area of triangle ABD, if you see, this triangle is not a right angle triangle. Maybe some of you, I have heard this, that you say, ma'am, this is 90 degree, but see, if it is not given, that means just by seeing it you cannot conclude that it is a 90 degree. it should be given in the question that whether this angle is 90. If angle A is not given a 90 or any angle is not given 90, you cannot assume that. Which means in this triangle, now which triangle we are taking? In triangle ABD, only 3 sides are known. That is, one side is 12 centimeter, other one is 9 centimeter, and the other one is 15. So how to calculate? Now here we cannot apply half base into height, as this triangle is not right angle triangle. So simple. Now 3 sides are given, we can simply apply the Heron's formula. Heron's formula to calculate the area, we simply have the formula, which is S minus A, S minus B and S minus C, where your S is semi-perimeter. Now you see what are the 3 sides. If you calculate the semi-perimeter, so it is 12 plus 15 plus 9 upon 2. Now when you add them all, it will give you 36 upon 2, and that would be 18. That means semi-perimeter is coming 18. Now to calculate the area, let us put the value in the formula. S, which is semi-perimeter, is coming 18. In other bracket we have S, which is 18 minus A. One side, let's take one side 12. Another bracket S minus B. The other side is 9. And the other side 18 minus 15. This is the common side in both the triangle, no? This BD. Now area, this is 18 and 18 minus 12, and all of them, like whatever we have this in brackets and 18, they are all are in multiplication, so we can just write in multiply. 18 minus 12 will be 6, then 18 minus 9 will be 9, and 18 minus 15 is 3. Now we have to simplify the square root. Let's write the prime factorization, that is 3 into 3 into 2, and 6 we have 3 into 2, 9 we have 3 into 3, and then 3. Let's pair them and take the one number common from one pair. So this is 3, not, now we don't apply the square root. So now we are taking common, that would be 3. From these two 3, again a 3, and from these two we have this 2 and this 3. So it is, you see, 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27, and 27 into 2, it is coming 54 centimeter square. So area of triangle ABD is coming 54 centimeter square, and if you remember, we have calculated area of this triangle, which is coming 60. So to calculate the area of the whole quadrilateral, now the area of quadrilateral, name it ABCD, ABCD. How to calculate area of triangle 1 plus area of triangle 2. Triangle 1, the area is coming 54, and for triangle 2 area we have calculated, it was coming 60. The total area would be 54 plus 60. Now when you add them, 4 and 11. So it will be 114 centimeter square. Correct? So this is how we have calculated our area. Now to calculate the perimeter we have, it's simple. When you are supposed to calculate the perimeter, it means simple. You are supposed to calculate the perimeter of this A, B, C, D, and to calculate it, you just have to sum all these sides. So perimeter would be sum of all sides. That means AB plus BC plus CD plus DA. What is AB? It is 9. BC is 8 plus 17 and plus 12. Of course, we will not include this side because we just want the boundaries. So it will give you is 46, and since it is your perimeter, the unit will be centimeter. So this is how there are many questions of this type. You simply divide the given quadrilateral in two, try to calculate the area of the two triangles and then sum them up. Okay, so here we have our next question. This is question number 9 from exercise 17B. Let's read the question. The perimeter of a rectangular field is 3 by 5 kilometer. The perimeter is given as 3 by 5 kilometer, and its length is twice its breadth, and also one condition is given, that length is twice of its breadth. Okay, now find the area of field in meter square. First thing that they are asking to calculate the area for which we should know length and breadth as well, and the area should be calculated in meter square. So whatever information is given, first we convert it into meter. So 3 by 5, when to convert kilometer into meter, we multiply by 1000. Okay, so now it is converted into meter. So if you cancel them, it will give you 200, and now it is 600 meter. So the perimeter is coming 600 meter, and since they are talking about a rectangular field, that means this is your length and this is your breadth. What is the perimeter of a rectangular field? You all know it is twice of length plus breadth, which is now equal to 600 as it is given. Now 2 times length is given equals to twice of breadth. That means at the place of L you can write twice of B. So L I am writing 2B plus B equals 600. Now you can simplify. It is 2B plus B will be 3B, and 3B into 2 would be 6B equals 600. And you cancel, it will give you breadth as 100 centimeter. Now since you have calculated breadth as 100 centimeter, it is given that length is twice of breadth. That means length will be 200 centimeter as it is twice of breadth. Now since we know that what is length and what is breadth, we can calculate the area of the rectangular field. Area can be easily calculated by the formula length into breadth, as we know the area of rectangle is length into breadth. Length we have this 200, breadth we have 100. When you multiply, this will give you 20,000, and since it is area, the unit would be meter square, as we have converted it into meter. So the area is coming 20,000 meter square. Okay. Okay, so here we have our next question. This is question number 11. Now let's read the question. A footpath of uniform width runs all around inside a rectangular field. There is a rectangular field. Let me draw it properly. There is a rectangular field, and a footpath is running around all over the field. Okay. Now a rectangular field 45 meter long and 36 meter wide. So the length of this rectangular field is 45 meter long. It is 45 meter long in length and 36 meter wide. Okay. Now if the area of the path is, by the way, a footpath is of uniform width. So this is our footpath, this all is our footpath they are talking about, and this is having a uniform width all over the rectangular field. It is having a uniform width. So they are asking you to calculate the width of the path where the area of the path is given. The area of this path, you see this shaded region, this path, the area is given 234 meter square, and they are asking you to calculate the width of this path. Whatever pavement or path is being made, they are asking you to calculate this. Now since it is uniform, so let's say the width of the path is x. If it is x here, so it will be x here again, and this is also x, and this width will also be x, as it is having the uniform area. Now one thing you see, when we have this total length 45 meter and the total length is 45, and here we are reducing x, here also we are reducing x, that means total from both sides we are reducing 2x. So the total length is 45, we are reducing x, so the length will become 45 minus 2x, isn't it? The total length is 45, we are reducing x from here and x from there, that means total we are reducing 2x. So the inner length will be 45 minus 2x, correct? What will be the breadth? Now total breadth is 36 meter, we are reducing x from here and x from here, that means total we are reducing 2x. So the length will become, the inner rectangle I am talking about, the length of inner rectangle would be 36 minus 2x. Is it correct? Now since we know the length of the outer rectangle and we know the length of the inner rectangle, so we can calculate the area of both the outer rectangle and the inner rectangle. Now it is given that the area of this shaded region, that means this footpath, the area is given 234 meter square. Now to calculate the area of the footpath, what to do? If we subtract the area of this smaller rectangle from the area of this bigger rectangle, from this whole area, if you subtract this area, you will only get the borders or not. So that means the area of this, see here I have written properly that area of footpath, the border, can be calculated by subtracting the area of smaller rectangle from the area of the bigger rectangle. Now area of footpath is given in the question, it is given 234, isn't it? Now area of bigger rectangle, if I draw the rectangle for you all once again, so the bigger rectangle, the length was 45 meter and the breadth was 36 meter, remember? And that's how we can write the area, length into breadth. What is length? That is 45 into what is breadth, that is 36, minus area of smaller rectangle. So area of smaller rectangle, if you remember, length we have calculated as 45 minus 2x and the breadth we have calculated as 36 minus 2x. So the area of smaller rectangle would be length into breadth. What is our length? That is 45 minus 2x. What is breadth? That is 36 minus 2x, isn't it? This is what we have calculated. Now let us simplify. We are supposed to calculate this x. What is x? The width of the border, or you can say the width of the footpath. Now it is 234 as it is. We have this 45 into 36. This will give you 1620 minus. Let us open the bracket first. 45 into 36, again it is coming 1620, then 45 minus 2x will give you minus 90x. Now minus 2x and 36 will give you minus 72x, and then minus plus 2x into 2x will give you 4x square, correct? Now you see 234 as it is. Let us open this bracket with minus sign. So 1620, when you open this bracket, this will be minus 1620, then plus 90x, plus 72x, and then this will become minus 4x square. 1620 with plus sign, 1620 with minus sign will get cancelled. Here we have 234. 90x plus 72x will give you, I think, 162x, and then we have this minus 4x square, correct? Now we are aiming to calculate x. So what I am going to do, this minus 4x square I am going to bring to the other side, and also 162x I am going to bring to the left hand side, and right hand side we will have nothing. I am taking all the two terms to the other side. So here we will have nothing remaining, so it will be 0. So now if I write it properly, it will be minus 4x square. When come here, it will be 4x square. This will become minus 162x, and it was already here on this side, so it will be plus 234, and that side it will become 0. Now you see, this is again we have to calculate x, and this is again similar to exercise 4D, where we have to write the factor and split it into two terms, 4 terms in fact. We are supposed to split the middle term. How we do that? We take the constant term, we take the coefficient, we write the prime factorization. But before that, if you see, from all these 3 terms we can again take 2 common. Here we can get 2, here again we can get 2, and here also we can get 2. So I am going to take 2 common, because we are supposed to simplify it in a possible way. So it will be 2x square. Now minus, it will be 81x, and plus it will become 117 equals 0. Now this 2 is in multiplication, so we take 2 to that side, and 0 by 2 will become 0. So it simply will be 2x square minus 81x plus 117, and this will be equals to 0, correct? Now let us see what is the constant term, 117. What is the coefficient of x square? Is 2. We write the prime factorization and we try to arrange the terms into 2 numbers, so that by addition or subtraction we get this 81. Not only 81 but minus 81. So let's see. Let's write the prime factorization of 117. 3 3s are 9, 3 9s are 27, 3 1s are 3, 3 3s are 9, and then 13. Okay, so for 117 we are getting this 3 into 3 into 13, and also we have to take the coefficient of x square, which is 2, and then we always take 1 as a factor. Now we have to arrange all these numbers into two numbers so that we get minus 81. Now let's see, if you take this 13 into 6, what this will give you? 78. 13 into 6 will give you 78, and we have remaining number 3 into 1, that will give you 3. So if we take these two numbers, 78 plus 3, that will give you 81. And if we want minus 81, we will not write it like that, 78 plus 3, because this will give you 78 plus 3 plus 81. So we will be taking it minus 78 and minus 3. So when you add them, it will give you 81, but with minus sign. Okay, so that's how we have splitted it. Let's write it. So 2x square minus, this will be 78x minus 3x plus 117 equals 0. Now we have 4 terms, so we will pair them and we try to take common. From these two terms, 2 is common as well as x is common. What is there? We have taken 2 common, x common, so here we have x minus. From 78 we have taken 2 common, so this will give you 39. Okay. Now from these two terms, first, so which sign we will take common? We will take minus common, and also we have 3 common. So what are we? Then what are we left with? We have this x. From this sign we have taken, or from these two numbers we have taken minus common. So if we take minus common, the sign will always change. So here it will become minus, and from 117 we have taken 3 common, this will be 39 equals 0. Again, what is common? That is x minus 39. Then what we have? This we have 2x minus 3. Okay, equals to 0. Now again we apply the zero product rule. Either this bracket will be 0 or this bracket will be 0. If the first bracket is 0, what will be the value of x? If this is 0, that is x minus 39 is 0, then x will be equals to 39. And what about this? If we have this bracket 0, that is 2x minus 3 equals to 0, then it will be 2x equals to 3, or x will be simply equals to 3 by 2. Now which of the value we are supposed to take, because both the values are positive. But if you see the given condition, what we have, the length was 45 meter given and the breadth was given 36 meter, remember? So now they are making a border from it, and this was our x, the width of this thing. So we cannot take x 39 when we have 36 meter is only the breadth. That means you are having this rectangular field which is only 36 meter wide. So you cannot make a pavement or a border of 39 meter wide. So that means this value we cannot take. This will not suit the given condition. So we will take the value of x as 3 by 2. X is your width actually. So the width is coming 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 1.5 meter. That means the width of the rectangular field or whatever we are making the pavement, that would be 1.5 meter. Okay. So here I have taken another question. It is question number 12. Let me read. I have made the diagram. In the adjoining diagram shows 2 cross paths drawn inside a rectangular field. You can see the rectangular field and 2 cross paths. One is parallel to the length, which is 45 meter given. One is parallel to the breadth, which is 38 meter given. They are asking you the width of each path. The width of each path, that means the width of each path is 4 meter. This also is 4 meter. Okay. Find the cost of graveling the paths at 5.60 per meter square. That means we want to gravel the path, and the cost of graveling is given rupees 5.60 per meter square. So first, that means area wise the cost is given, which means that we have to calculate the area of these 2 cross paths. How to calculate the area? If you see that this one, if you are taking this one, the horizontal one, what is the length or how it looks like? It looks like a rectangle, isn't it? If it is a rectangle, rectangle, you see this is the length, which is 45. This is the breadth, which is 4 meter. That means if you want to calculate the area of this path, one path, that would be 45 length and the breadth is 4. Now come to this one, which is parallel to the breadth. Now this one also looks like a rectangle, in which if you take this one as a length, so what is the length? 38, and what is the breadth given? 4. So if you want to calculate the area, that means area of this one and area of this one, isn't it? Let us call it the rectangle number 1. So what is the area of rectangle number 1? It would be length, since it is a rectangle, it looks like a rectangle, so it would be length into breadth. Now what is the length? Is 45, and what is the breadth? How wide it is given? 4. So that would be 180 centimeter, not centimeter but meter square, as the unit is given in meter. Okay. Now this is the area of this first one. Now what is the area of the second one? That means which is perpendicular to it. Let us call it second one. Now this also looks like a rectangle. This must be its length. Then length is what? It is 38, and then again width is what? 4. So the area would be length into breadth, that is length is 38 and width or breadth is 4. So when you calculate, it will come 152 meter square, isn't it? If we calculate the total area, that means area of this rectangle or this path and area of this path would be the total area. Let me write it. Total area would be area of this path, which is coming 180, minus area of this path, which is 152. But there is a thing, when you are graveling them, actually when you are taking this path, here you are covering this part of the area. You are taking this one again, you cover this part again. That means you are covering this area twice. And if we cannot, of course you cannot gravel them twice. That means we have to, since we are taking it 2 times, so we have to reduce 1 time. 1 time to reduce, that means what is this area looks like? This is looking like a square. How come? Because this is the width, which is 4 meter. This is also a width, which is 4 meter. That means this length is 4, this also is 4, this is 4, this 4, which means it is a square. So here what are we doing? We are taking a rectangular field and we are graveling it. We are taking one path, we are taking like that. So when you are putting the tiles or whatever stones you are graveling, that means you have covered all of it. And when you are making a perpendicular path, that means again when you are making the perpendicular path, when you start graveling it, so you are going to cover this part of the area again, no? So we cannot cover it again and again. That means we only have to cover it once. So we have to leave 1 time, or we have to reduce 1 time. Twice we are doing it, so we have to reduce 1 time. And how to reduce? 1 part we have to reduce. And if you see, this looks like a square. Square because this width is given 4 meter, this also is given 4 meter. And that's why we are subtracting the area of this square once, because we already have, when we are doing this horizontal one, we already have covered this one. Now when we are doing this vertical one, we don't want to cover it. Although when we have calculated the area here, we took all the things, so we have to reduce it once, and that's how we are reducing it. What is the area of this square? Since the length is 4 or the all side is 4, so the area will be 16. So actually the total area will be the area, I should have written plus here by the way. So area would be 180 for this one and 152 for this one, and then we have this, and we have to subtract once the area of the square. So let us solve it. It will 332 minus 16, that means 316. So this is the total area coming 316 meter square. Now to calculate the cost, what is the cost given for per meter square? It was given 5.60. So the total cost will be, the area total we have 316, the cost for per meter square is 5.60. So the total cost will come 1769.60. This is your total cost coming to gravel these 2 paths. I hope it is clear. Once you try to solve it at home, and then I think it is clear. You just try to draw this and see that when you are actually graveling it, so when you are considering this length or this path, so you are calculating this area, and when you are taking again this path, so it is coming again. So we will not take it again, we will just reduce it once, and that's how we have reduced it. Try to solve it and then we will see if it is coming or not. So here we have our next question, that is question number 13. Now the rectangle of area 144 centimeter square. So the area of the rectangle is given 144 centimeter square, has its length equal to x. That means the rectangle, there is a rectangle and the length is given as x and the area is 144 centimeter square. Write down its breadth in terms of x. So by the way, if you talk about, we don't know, just now we don't know what is the breadth. Let's say the breadth is b and the area length is x. So we have to write, we have to calculate breadth in terms of x. And since we are given with the area, so it's simple. What is the area? Length into breadth, which is given equals to 144. Length we are given with x, breadth we have to calculate equals to 144. Now since we want to calculate the breadth, we have to take this x to the other side. It is here in multiply, it will go there in divide. So that would be b equals 144 upon x. That means if for the given rectangle the length is x, so the breadth will come in terms of x, it will come 144 over x. So this is the one part of the question. Write down its breadth in terms of x, we have written already, and solve it to determine the dimensions of rectangle. That means after writing this, as we have calculated breadth as 144 by x and length is already given x, so now we are supposed to calculate the value or the particular value of breadth and length if there is a perimeter given of the rectangle which is 52. Now that means we have to calculate the dimension. Dimension means we have to calculate the length and breadth, which is now we have calculated in terms of x. Simply we have to calculate the value of x. And now we are given with the perimeter which is 52 centimeter given. You know that the perimeter of rectangle, the formula is 2 times length plus breadth, and this is equals to 52. And we know that 2 times the length we are given with x, and breadth it is coming 144 over x. Okay, so that's how we have kept the values. We have put the values and then we have 52. This 2 can cancel 52. This will be 26. So it is simple, x plus 144 over x equals 26. Now to calculate or to simplify x, how to proceed? Simple, we have to take LCM. X will be your LCM. So when you divide it by 1, it will give you x, and x into x will give you x square. Plus here we will get 144 equals 26. This x is in divide. If we take it to that side, it will come in multiplication. So it will simply become x square plus 144, and this x is going to that side, it will give you 26x. Correct? Now we have to calculate it. So we are actually taking all the things to one side. So here we have x square. This plus 26x, if we bring it to left hand side, it will become minus 26x, and already we have plus 144. And that side, since we have brought this to this side, this will be 0. Simple. Now if you see, this again has become a quadratic equation. We can write down the factors. Simple. So we take the constant term and we take the coefficient of x square. Here we have constant term as 144, coefficient of x square is 1. So when you write down the prime factorization, it will give you 144. Let us write the prime factorization. Let's divide it by 2 first. 36, then we get 18, then we get 2 9s are 18, and then 3 and 3. And what are we supposed to get? We are supposed to get 26. Okay, now let us arrange these numbers into 2 numbers so that we get 26. Now you take these numbers together. This is 3 into 3 into 2. 3 into 3, 9. 9 into 2, that will give you 18. And this 3 numbers, 2 into 2 into 2, that will give you 8. And 18 plus 8 will give you 26. And now we don't want plus 26, we want minus 26. So we will keep this in our mind. minus 18x and minus 8x. Minus and minus will give you plus, that means 18 plus 8 will give you 26, but with minus sign, that is minus 26, and plus 144. After it is easy, you all know that we have to pair them and we have to take common. When you pair them, what is common from these two? It is x, then we have x minus 18. From these two numbers, which sign to take common first? Minus. What number is common? 8. Then we have x, and since we have taken minus common, so this will become minus, and then we have 18 equals 0. Okay. Now again, which bracket is common? X minus 18. Here we have x minus 8. Again, to calculate the value of x, we will apply the zero product rule. Either this bracket will be 0 or this bracket will be 0. Now if the first bracket will be 0, you will get x minus 18. If you are taking equal to 0, that will give you x equals to 18. If you take this bracket 0, which is x minus 8 equals 0, you will get the value of x as 8. That means here you are getting the two values of x as 18 and 8. Now here you can take both the values. If you see, our length was x and our breadth was 144 by x. If you are considering this value, that is 18, then length will become 18 and breadth, if you calculate it, 144 by 18, because you are taking 18, so 144 by 18 will give you 8, so it will be centimeter. Otherwise, if you are taking your length as 8 centimeter, your breadth, that is 144 by 8, this time you will put 8 now, because you are taking x as 8, so your breadth will become 18. In either way, either you take 8 or 18, the answer, one will become length and one will become 8, so both the answers will be valid, and that's how we have calculated. There are more questions to simplify that we'll solve in our next class.